We gonna be all right. That's like my theme song, you know what I mean? It's my theme song. We're gonna come back with that Drake. But right now we are here. We are joined by my homie Kevin Shine in building.
What's up?
Representing the Writing Sessions America.
Okay, I've been waiting all night to hear about this.
I know. We got to talk about that.
Oh yeah, you know, music is my life.
I've known Kevin forever. Give us your background first, so people
that
can know
resume
where
is
you
long,
come
people.
From. Please give us a short version. Of your resume.
The short version of my resume is I worked. I started in Chicago. I was the vice president of a 115 DJ organization, and through me doing that, I started doing these filtering systems I created. One of them was writing sessions, and when the very first one that I ever created, Kanye actually was there. Okay. It was the first time that he ever played "You Don't Know My Name" by Alicia Keys, and then No ID, who is now the senior executive over at Def Jam, was actually one of the people who helped me put it together. Okay. We were creating these systems because a lot of times people just didn't know the people who were in the business or didn't have the right resources. So even for my DJs, we did all these little systems because it kind of helped filter out who was ready to get their records spun or get their records played and stuff like that. So when I came down to Atlanta, and I got my position under Wayne Williams, which is the senior vice president of Jive Records. When I got him, I got my position to be his point person out here. Yeah. I just brought the filtering systems back because I needed them, because that was the way I was going to find those songwriters and those producers. And then I partnered with ASCAP, and so they really took off. And then when I wasn't with Wayne anymore, and I became head of A&R for label Universal. I brought them back again, and I started them at Apache. Just more, and I added a performance element because the climate changed and people didn't want to just sit in rooms and listen to music anymore. They wanted to see people perform. So luckily, because of what I did with Wayne, helping them with the Untitled album, which we got a Grammy nomination for. I was managing a girls writing team, and one of my girls got featured on the How Low record that got now. Huh?
What was the girls' writing team?
It was called Galaxy.
Okay.
And one of the girls from the writing team was featured on the How Low record. And so that got nominated for a Grammy. So both of those things happened at the same time, which put me, it put me in the spotlight nationally. And then people wanted to know who I was. Plus, I was responsible for helping sign Jacob Lattimore, work with Jill Scott, through Hidden Beach. So I've been a part of a lot of people's careers, man, helping a lot of people get their thing off. And now I'm focusing on, where I want to be in this industry, how I want to leave my legacy out here. So one of the things that I kind of looked at the landscape, it was funny you was talking about earlier, you was talking about how the system has kind of been set up. And one of the things that I always have, I've always done since even in college, is I always kind of felt like when I see what I would call social injustice being done, I counter it with something that I call, which is like edutainment. So in countering it, and countering what I see happening to us right now, what I see really, what we have to be more aware of is that they're discrediting what this is really all about. And at the end of the day, we all, you don't live off record sales.
No.
You live off publishing. You live off of licensing. You live off of those things because that's how that's called mailbox money. Yep. And so, now now that, of course, coming, not that I grew up in New York, but being a stupid fan of mixtapes and going back in those little barbershops and beauty shops where the mixtape room was in the back on 125th and 145th and on Canal and come on now. You don't want me to go there. I mean, I was a fan. Like I was
that Harlem Life.
I was a true blue fan. That's right. I mean, of mixtapes. So what I see happening is that when they commercialized it, they used it as a tool against us. And so it became not a way for us, for the DJ to test records, but it became a way for them to dumb us down from publishing. So like now we're giving away so much music. And like, we don't have to give away as much. Like, I'm not against, okay, putting a record out there, 2 records out there, testing the marketplace. I always kind of say it's like being a comedian. You know what I'm saying? You on the weekdays, you go test your material. On the weekends, you tell the material that works. And so you don't, what's happening right now is we're telling people to go get shows, but actually, are these people getting paid shows?
Right. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Are they, and how much money do you spend getting ready for a show? You know what I'm saying? So you talking about getting ready for a show, you talking about you giving away your music free. So at the end of the day, one of the things they don't tell you is there is no value to what you devalue.
That's real.
Is this thing on?
That's real.
There is no value to what you devalue. So if you devalue what you make, then what you want me to value it
Have
for?
you ever
That's
thought
so
about
real.
doing like seminars and courses, educating?
Oh, I do all of that.
That's why
we
he's
need to
here.
we need to do more of it. Like I'm like,
Well,
I'll be
Talk about
right
what
there
you're
in
doing
front
now.
row with a crayon and
Well,
all. Like,
Talk about what you're doing now with the writing sessions and
Well, just one more nugget, to add to it before I go into that.
Yeah.
Outside of what I've been able to accomplish with the music industry, I do have, I am a person who did not know this business and did not understand how this business worked. So I did get taken advantage of, and my fight back was to learn this business. And so I had an opportunity to teach music business at Columbia College in Chicago. I have a 70% success ratio in getting students jobs and internships in the music industry. A lot of my students are executives now. And I also lectured at NYU in New York on contract negotiations and publishing. So that was like one of my crowning moments, you know what I'm saying? To be able to say I'm sitting in front of a room full of lawyers and I'm sharing, I'm now in a position where I'm the one that knows the game and I'm the one that can teach the game. So part of, like I said, my social, when I counter social injustice, my way of countering it is to say, if we don't know what the value is, once I say it, we devalue. So if people don't know how to protect themselves, then all they're doing is making themselves guinea pigs to be taken advantage of. So I believe that, when I look at certain people in our industry, I look at, how certain people are being taken advantage of, but they're not being taken advantage of. At one point in time, I used to put my Superman cape on, and I used to try to charge in and save people, and I learned it's no different than that woman that's being abused by that man and then thinking that it's okay because he loves her.
should keep going.
And so, that's exactly what this is going on in our business. People are accepting abuse because they love this music so much. And so it's kind of hard to save them because and they're not working with anything, so they'll accept anything.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And so you can't really, so when I do a seminar or I go out and I speak about business or I see somebody speak about business, I ask myself first, let's not talk at people like they don't know. Let's find out, do they care?
Right.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of what's going on that has nothing to do with people not knowing or us not putting it out there or the resources not being available. It just has a lot to do with us being mindful that we're telling the people that really want to know, and we're helping them understand where to go. So with Writing Sessions America, like I said, it was a filtering system. But when I looked up, I seen hip hop everywhere. And so if you look at what all of our goals are, we have hip hop, we have adult contemporary, we have rhythmic, and then we have pop. So if you're trying to fit into a radio format when you make your music, you got to fit into one of those categories, right? But if you're an R&B artist, where do you fit in? Because at the end of the day, you make a record, you're going to be called hip hop if you fit into the mainstream. If you make a record that's more into what music was, now you're considered adult contemporary.
They really segregated us on the charts too.
And then if they make a record, or if a white person makes a record and it's R&B, it's still considered pop. But now they made rhythmic, so that's more like what Sam Smith fits into the rhythmic. Rhythmic, he fits into the rhythmic format. So then now Taylor Swift and them are in the pop category. So we're not even in the pop category anymore. So now
I realize that.
So a lot of this is stuff that when we're making these records, we're not being educated about where we fit in. And so who we're catering to, what's our format, what's our business plan, what's our game plan to be accepted. And then one of the main things that is killing us over everything is that we are now segregating ourselves from our core audiences. We don't even know that, okay, that's how we're going to eat for the rest of our life.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. That's like real.
You know, so you don't even know who your core audience is because, you know, I had a conference call the other night. We do national conference calls through writing sessions. We have a program we running right now called Live Radio where it's a meet and greet. But this is how I run it, though. You got to look at the program of it. I run live radio where you come out and you play your music. Then I run a boot camp based on the best people I select from the live radio. Then I run something called In the Studio where I take the best of the boot camp people and I put them in the studio with a named producer. And then I run another program where I call Placement where I take the records from that and then we help you get a placement.
Wow.
So you see, it's a means to an end. And I went out to his event. Was it?
A couple of yeah.
Very, very well attended. Like too many people up in there.
Yeah.
Really, like for the space, and which is good. You want it to be flooded,
Yeah.
so that you know, okay, I need to get a big space.
Well, you know, yeah.
But it was like it's good. It's intimate. People give a respect to each other for listening to the songs. That everybody stayed, listened to each other. It's blessed.
And you know, and at the end of the day, you know, what inspired me to bring live radio out because we were doing our mixers. We do these monthly mixers every fourth Thursday at Apache Cafe, and I was starting to see that people were kind of, stepping back because, see, one of the things that we do behind the scenes is that we filter out who we're going to put on the stage based on your records. Mm-hmm. So you can't, we don't ask you to pay to perform. We just say, if your music is up to par, then I'll give you the stage and I'll let you perform. And then at the same time, the goal is really to get people back to the original music. Mm-hmm. So what's happening since everybody's doing American Idols and The Voices and all like that, we're back to wanting to be cover tune stars. So it's like all of the open mics are like the only places everybody want to go because it's the only place where they can go and they know they're going to touch the stage. So now they're caught in the vanity of being on the stage, and if they're there, most times than not, they're performing not their original works but cover tunes because they want to be accepted for their talent. But what they don't realize is that you're jukeboxing somebody else's records.
That's true.
And you're not selling yourself, and you're not selling your records, and you're not building your brand. And some of them are, a lot of the stuff that the systems that we're looking at right now, from these numbers and the followers and all like that. When I'm trained to get to the core of it. So if you tell me you got 1,000 followers, okay, well, call me tonight when you do an event, and I want to see if you can get 200 people in the room. You know what I'm saying? And more times than not, people can't get 50 people in the room. But you got 1,000. You got 1,000 followers, so that doesn't add up.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not, so in more times than not, they're doing, what are they doing? They're throwing their record up there. They're not interacting. They're not really trying to engage us to the record we want. They're telling us what they think we should have. They're calling their record a single before it's a single. They're not really, understanding the business, and no one is actually saying, well, that's the wrong way to go about it. Everybody's just throwing something against the wall and saying, okay, I'll get a hit. Like right now, there's a bunch of records out that they pulled off the internet that those people don't even know the formula to how to create those records. So, through writing sessions, we're just trying to help people better understand music, and how to not only, we call it music excellence and music business development. So we just helping you develop your business model so you'll know how to monetize what you building.
And I'm going to say something. This man does not sleep. Him and his organization, I see them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn all day, all night. Like they're having conversations. He's answering questions. They having calls. Like it's dope. Like I appreciate it. I think that it's it's so necessary in this climate. And he doesn't really cater to no rap music.
And I want to make. I'm glad I want to speak on that. I'm glad. I'm from it. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is. But when you look around and you got A3C and you got BET Weekend and you got One Music Fest and you got all these different outlets, and every other person on every other corner, like you said, is rapping and they got a CD and they're doing something. it's like I'm sitting in them rooms and I'm watching these singers, and this is what really inspired me. I was at a showcase, and young brother got up on the stage and he said, "Man, I got something new and different. I know y'all listen to all these lyrics. I'm gonna kick this new flavor for you." So he said, "When I say I got you, y'all say bitch." And so I'm like, okay, so I'm ready for him to bust out and start ramming or whatever. And he started singing, and he could really sing. And I'm like, well, what the hell are you cussing for? Why are you cussing if you can really sing? I mean, if you can really sing, then you can get our attention. But he felt compelled by the room and what the room is doing. So then I take the example of that, right? Mm-hmm. And then I go, okay, we have Rihanna. Now, I remember Rihanna had just dropped a record called American Oxygen, right? And she performed that at the Final Four and in front of all these white people, right? But then at that same time, she had just dropped Bitch Better Have My Money, right? So now the kids are hearing Bitch Better Have My Money, and on our side of the fence, they're not hearing American Oxygen. Yeah. So they're not hearing that she's diverse and she's catering to a broader audience. They're just hearing that one thing. So now they're thinking that's what they got to compete against, and that's the kind of records that is accepted right now. So they're getting bamboozled into thinking they can't make good music, or they got to dumb down their music. But if everyone really is paying attention to John Legend, he's killing it right now. Yeah. Just make a good record, and just you don't have to, but
so number one in like 10 countries right now,
right?
15.
So for me, I just feel like I wanted to create a platform where singers come hear singers, because a lot of times these singers that they'll go and they'll be in these rap rooms and they can't really hold a tune or note or whatever like that, but they'll go in there and they'll feel like they just killed because ain't nobody in there doing no singing but them. Right. But when you get amongst real singers and real people who write songs, and the songs,
the standard has changed so much.
Then so when you walk in my rooms, that's the thing. So that was what was killing us at first, is that we had set the bar so high. Some people were like, man, I ain't gonna try to meet Kevin's standard. I'm just gonna go over here where I can get away with singing where I want to sing and putting on what I want to put up. And so,
and I want to say something about that, because that's, to me, the issues. It's like, the dumbing down, we're doing it to ourselves. Yeah. I've heard so many rappers, especially since I've been living here in Atlanta, say, well, it don't matter what my lyrics are.
That beat.
Horror.
As long as
I'm
it had
from
that,
New York.
As long as
you know
had
what I'm
that
saying?
beat,
like,
though.
we are lyricists in New York. I don't know what you're doing in the Midwest. We lyricists. Kanye, we go down the line. Even singers. People that are singing, like it's about the lyrics. It's about what is your message? What do you. So for somebody to just tell me, well, it don't matter. I'm going to just go in there and freestyle. I'm going to smoke lean, I'm going to smoke a blunt, and I'm going to go in there and freestyle on this beat, and then I'm going to have me a hit record. And that's what Wayne do. That's what Jay-Z do.
Well, what's funny about that is that, a friend of mine, she's a singer in Chicago, and so she said she had just came out of a session with Chief Keef, and she said she went in there and she sang the hook, and they was like, man, you saying that too perfect. Like, they mess up the words and don't we just want the rhythm. Like, what they want is they want the rhythm pattern of the song, and they want you to slur the wording. So slur the word, but keep the happy birthday melody.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: like, what happened? Because hold on, I'm only 30, so but I still grew up. Whitney Houston was like the standard, right? And I felt like that was a high bar for people to achieve. And then in my high school year, here comes Ashanti, and I felt like it was hope for everybody.
Well. I can't
be in the building.
Come on, we're not gonna pretend. Baby, that.
Well, she's better than some.
Well, you gotta look at the fact that
I like her, but
at that point in time, it was the record.
And that was a hip hop R&B thing.
Yeah, it was. The standard is different.
I'm a hip hop artist, even though I'm a singer. I don't rhyme at all. But because I did Put It In Your Mouth, and I'm associated with those type of records, I am a hip hop artist. I'm not a singer. I'm not an R&B artist. I am a hip hop artist. That's how I'm categorized because of that affiliation. And it's like, oh, so you a rapper? I'm like, no. But I'll be a hip hop artist.
And that's sad is under any circumstances I would have disagreed with you, but you right. You're 100% right, and I can't.
Myself.
No, they call Chris Brown a hip hop artist.
He is. That's what that is.
Y'all
now.
think he is?
He is.
Is he really?
He is.
Am I missing?
Because hip hop is not rap anymore. Hip hop is a you know, it's a swag. It's a it's a different thing.
I guess maybe that's why I'm
because he's
so
not
lost.
doing what Tyrese is doing.
Maybe that's why I'm
understand?
lost.
But see,
'cause
that
I'm
goes
still-
back to what I was saying, the analogy I was using.
Mm-hmm.
I like, okay, so Chris Brown is hip hop, Tyrese is adult contemporary,
Well,
Sam Smith is rhythmic.
Hold on, who is R&B?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Is there no more
R&B?
R&B?
No, R&B is adult contemporary.
So they've made
No, Justin Timberlake is rhythmic.
Oh, I thought he was pop.
No, he's rhythmic.
Just because of
He's rhythmic. He's not pop.
So they call it
Taylor Swift is pop.
because of
Okay,
his-
so rhythmic is the blue-eyed soul now.
Yeah.
That's basically the blue-eyed
Yeah,
soul that we
right.
called back in the day.
Right.
So that's rhythmic with
Yes.
your Stan Smith and your Justin Timberlakes and
Right.
Robin
And Justin
Thicke.
Bieber.
Robin
Justin
Thicke.
Bieber, Robin Thicke. That's all rhythmic.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
Okay,
Is he
and then
still
you got
making
your
music?
Chris Browns and your Ashantis and your Lauryn
Hip-hop.
Hills that are hip hop, and then so and Tyrese is what, adult
and what the
contemporary now?
and so he's adult contemporary. And the reason that is because what they also did was they made it a standard to be a rapper / singer.
Well, yeah.
So everybody who fits into catering to that audience gets, the title of hip
That's
hop.
right. That's about right.
I think my struggle is I'm a fan of true music, like True, the Tyrese's, the SWVs, the Brownstones. So when I see
But you also got to look at it from this perspective, which is another thing we need to touch on is that if you look at country music, if you look at rock, and then you look at pop, they pretty much have maintained their genres, right? We had, when she was doing what she was doing, when you were talking about what you were talking about, we had black music departments.
yes,
That's right.
So we were
true.
able to police and
That's true.
and oversee and
That's true.
the cultivation of music.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't all of our music. What we were good at doing is everybody could do their thing. You can have your own identity because it was at that point it was about building the music to cater to a certain core. Now what happened was that y'all remember the year Lauryn Hill won all those awards?
98.
The year after she won all them Grammys, they got rid of the black music divisions. The year after that. Just like another thing for footnote. When 50 Cent did the vitamin water deal, right after that, the 360 hit.
Right. Ain't that something?
Right after that.
Ain't that something?
So I call it the
Shout out to
50 Cent.
50, I know you broke.
It's the 50 Cent.
Wink, wink.
I call it the 50 Cent rule.
Right.
He's
I mean,
broke.
go do your research. It hit immediately after that. That's because Jimmy Iovine did not. Jimmy Iovine like, yay, he like, yay, nothing. We did nothing. That's me. And he went in the room, and they came back, and just like you know what was funny. Because I lived in Chicago, and there used to be this club that we used to go to, and I remember that one time we all, it was a two-way street, and one night I left early. It was a big fight broke out in the middle of the street outside the club, and we came back the next day, and I'm telling you, the next day it was a one-way street.
Wow.
That quick, you zoned the street that quick and made it a one-way street. But that's how it is. When we do what we got to look at is every time we do anything great, right after that, the rule changes.
And, but you know what also happens with us? We walk away and leave it. We start stuff, we pop that stuff off, Mom, I know you're watching. We pop it off, and then once the world gets it, and I will call the world the white man, or once they, like we're about to give hip hop just to the whatever, just like jazz. How many black jazz musicians you know?
Well, don't get it.
I don't mean to say that. How many black people go and watch jazz? No. If you go to a jazz club, it's not too many of us in the audience.
They're playing in Papados now.
Just saying. You know what I mean? Especially like in New York, they got jazz clubs out the ass, and none of us are there supporting our music that is a genre that was black only. We started it. Hip hop. We started this.
Well, that's what the
Come
internet.
on, man.
Well, that's what the internet for us. That the internet is not our friend, and
But
that.
we did that even before internet.
But I'm just saying. But I'm just using it
No,
as
a
an
lot of us
example
are
to say.
mistaken.
I'm saying that the internet is not our friend in respect of the fact that it's like when I tell people, it's like you got a pebble when you walk out to the lake and you throw it in the water and you don't know where it lands. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
right.
gotta,
You gotta
you
trust
can't
that.
manage, you can't manage where it's going. You don't know who's got it. You don't know. And then it was funny because the other night, Tammy Latrell was on our panel for the other night, and it was so, and she's got, she got some platinum plaques and she's written some records, and I was so excited that she went into, because one of our speakers here spoke about streaming, and she said, well, if you look at the laws were only set up from a copyright standpoint to protect the physical copy of your work. So streaming there's no way to track what your copyright is in streaming. So she's like, people are going in these Pandoras and all like that, and their music is playing all these times, and these people are making all this money, and they're getting checks for like $400 and $1,000, and
Yeah.
and it's killing the copyright.
Yeah.
Like, really, that's what everybody better pay attention to. Like, all the mechanisms and the revenue streams are being taken away.
Yeah.
And and the mentality that we have about certain things is that it doesn't affect us till it affects us.
On that note, I think we're going to take a
Yikes.
break. We'll be back with more Kevin Sean. This is Tasty Tuesdays.